Something I said in prayer this morning, I'm not going to repeat it, but it showed up on my YouTube timeline, word for word, on my laptop, which I know without a shadow of a doubt, this was the Holy Spirit confirming, what I was mentioning in prayer this morning. I promise you, I don't even get, scared or anything like that when I see confirmations like this. It's like a nod and a thank you from the universe. It just further confirms for any of my non-believers out there that God is always listening. He's there. So I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. Make it a priority to build a relationship with him. So now we'll get into the video. Have you ever been in a relationship where you were treated like the gum on the bottom of someone's shoe? They always made you feel like you were less than them, like you were not even worthy of standing in the same room with them, like it was pulling teeth just to spend time with them. And they always had someone else on rotation. They basically made your life a living hell when all you wanted to do was love them. Now, I'm sure anyone that is watching this video right now, you're probably yelling, yes, yes, that was my ex or whatever. Let me ask another question. Have you ever longed for or wanted to be back with someone who treated you like that? Whether they tormented you mentally, physically, have you ever wanted to just backtrack back to them? Usually after the connection ends, I hear a lot of people say they felt like a weight was lifted off of them, and you move on with your life. Maybe you go back to school, or you start a YouTube channel helping others on what not to do, and you keep your focus on God during your healing and transformation. But you're not looking to go back. Now, I know in some situations people go through the healing process and the universe brings them back together. I get that. But a lot of people, usually don't want to go back to something that never was good for their soul. My grown people, you're not jealous or hurt by your ex's decisions to move on. You're healing. You're focusing on your life now because you understand, hey, people got free will. Life goes on. This is, it's not always going to be rainbow and sunshine in every situation. Quick story time. So there was this young woman who wasn't treated like the diamond that she truly was when she was in her toxic relationship with her ex. So she moved out the way and she kept her focus on God. This angered her very abusive ex to the point where he betrayed her in the worst way. He was always flaunting low vibrational women around her, hoping this would trigger the woman, maybe to go back or just act out. He wanted her to feel like she was missing something. Basically, after everything she went through with him, it wasn't enough. He wanted to stomp her even further down into the ground. But the woman always kept her gaze on God. Let's look at Matthew 14:30. You guys remember when Peter saw the strong wind and the waves, he was terrified and he began to sink. He said, "Save me, Lord," he shouted. As long as Peter was keeping his focus on Jesus, he was able to do what Jesus did, which was walk on water. Once he allowed the distractions around him to overtake his attention, what happened? He started to sink. The enemy was using the woman's ex to throw her off, in his mind, or attempt to throw her off. In his mind, she was supposed to be focused on what he was doing, but her attention never turned away from the Lord. Her gaze stayed on him. This man and his new woman kept up with his ex's life. They knew every time this woman did something. If this woman passed gas, her ex and the ex's new woman knew about it. They could tell you what it smelled like. Every time the woman left the house or post something on social media, they were keeping up with her hard. They wanted her focus to be on them, that they completely neglected their own life, keeping up with hers. The woman's sight, her gaze, it never left the Most High. To anyone that comes across my video, You guys see it in the news, people young and old arguing, fighting, pulling up on people, and it's usually over another man or a woman. And the enemy delights when when he can get into your mind and cause you to lose focus on what's really important. There's some people who will lose a whole day's pay of work just to sit outside someone's house to see if their man is with another woman. It's very rare that anyone we had to cut off for peace of mind is going to tell anybody who will listen that they were the reason why that person no longer is in their life. Like, I was a crappy person. I couldn't keep my wand in my pants. I treated this person like the gum on the bottom of my shoe. They're not going to tell you that. They have to create an image that makes them look like gods above everything. But really quick, when Jesus remains your focus, you will be firmly established. You won't be moved by every opinion and trend. You'll abide faithfully, steadfastly. Nothing will be able to shake you. Your faith will remain intact, even in difficult times. I sometimes like to think about this dream I had a while back, and I did talk about it on my channel. I was in this boat, and there was chaos under me and high waves around me. And the Lord lifted me very high in this boat. And once the chaos left, he slowly brought me back down again. And I just remember in that dream just being so calm. Like, I never once felt scared. I kept my gaze on the Most High. And once the distractions left, he brought me back down again. The moment you take your focus off what's important and start focusing on what the enemy is using to trip you up, you start to sink. So don't worry about what he or she is posting or what he or she is doing. Keep your gaze on the Most High. Really quick video. Thank you for listening.